Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Beach FM, great to welcome back the Mayor of the Kapiti Coast, K.Gurunathan. Guru, good morning. Welcome to you.
Good morning, John. Good morning to the listeners.
We have to talk about the airport, Guru. We had a representative of the Puketapu Hapu with us on the radio on Friday, and it seems that they have got a very, very definite and very well-pointed argument to make in terms of the future of the airport.
Yeah, I think their case went up to Waitangi tribunal, and so they posted a very strong case. We are waiting for the Waitangi tribunal to make its decision. In the meantime, we are having this scenario developing where the new property owners of the airport looks like they're set on cutting it up and selling it off. So we've got a problem in our hands. But the call for the return of the land to the original owners was made 2 weeks ago. And so last week, but that was, I had supported it and my position as mayor. But last week, on Thursday, they came to council and made impassioned pleas because Tony Jackson and George Jenkins from the Puketapu Hapu. In response, what we did was we put up a motion which had unanimous support, and that the council would support the call by the original owners for the return of the ancestral land, and we have requested that the chief executive table a paper very quickly on how we will progress this.
You have to involve money at some stage, though, doesn't it? I believe that the runway is in bad repair, and in fact repairs have been put off for some time. $4.5 million is the price that I've heard of to repair the runway.
I've heard this boogeyman being used before in 1995 when the airport was being sold. Council had a chance to buy it then, and then they claimed that the airport runway repairs will cost $1 million, and that frightened the councillors. In actual fact, nothing was done to the runway. It was operational for quite a number of years until Noel Robinson came on.
Mm-hmm. And we had George on the radio on Friday, and one of the questions I asked him is whether any of the allied interests he referred to has got deep pockets, because at some stage money is going to be required. It's unrealistic to expect the Flying Club to come up with the kind of money which I think could well be required to maintain the airport.
Well, I think the first problem we have is to secure the future of a sustainable operational airport.
Yes.
And the process of discussing that, once we secure that, it will include the operational cost of it. Any diversion from it for a start will be morally reprehensible from the point of view of the community. So we've got a fight on our hands at the moment.
Absolutely. And you know why I'm asking these questions. Do you think the council would become a financial partner in any consortium to save the airport?
Well, I mean, that definitely should be in the mix in terms of the different options we are looking at. And I know that the EV are quite prepared to go into partnership with the council and other stakeholders.
Yes.
So we are, we need to be around the negotiation table to see how we can get to, and the government needs to come to the party. Anyway.
You said iwi there, and something that has been troubling me since I talked to George was that he mentioned that Noel Robinson had negotiations with some parties, and the implication was that some Maori interests may have been satisfied at that stage, others not. We were talking to the Puketapu Hapu. Do you think that Maori are united in their view on the future of the airport?
Well, at the moment, I like all treaty negotiations issues, we have the different factions within that. So that's why the Waitangi tribunal decision will settle all those matters. The point is, at the moment, there is a united front, as far as I can see, in the way they approach and came to the council.
Right.
Unity amongst all of them in terms of securing the airport.
Now, I believe you've also had communication from Capital and Coast District Health Board in terms of the value of the airport in emergency situations.
Well, I've had a letter from Dr. Alex Sidriggs, who is the clinical leader of the Wellington Intensive Care Unit. And the letter is really interesting because it is they have an aeromedical retrieval service that's with 2 fixed-wing aircraft and 1 helicopter operated by a life flight. And what they do is they pick up critically ill patients in the upper North Island and lower upper South Island and lower North Island area. So it's quite a large area. They run approximately 1,400 missions per year, and it's based out of Wellington. And whenever there's any problems in Wellington Airport, they use the Kapiti Airport.
Right.
Right. So what they've told me is like they've written to me and said, look, that they support the long-term viability of the Kapiti Coast Airport, because they said not only does it provide an alternative to Wellington Airport for their services, but also for national retrieval services based in Auckland.
Goodness.
This includes, for the Starship Air Ambulance. This is associated with critically ill children. And also the Organ Donation New Zealand and the National ECMO Retrieval Service based in Auckland City Hospital. So these are things that we never knew about or commonly known about. So when it's important for the retrieval of children and for the transport of organ transplants, material for organ transplants, the airport becomes even more critical.
So the case certainly is building.
Pardon?
The case certainly is building, Guru, isn't it? And where do we go from here? Because there's been several estimations of timelines. In fact, there was going to be a meeting last Saturday, which I believe, because of COVID, has been postponed a while. But the reason for that meeting was that the potential closure of the airport was imminent. How much time do you think we have?
I have received nothing in writing, or even what I've heard was that the closing was imminent in the sense that they were going to close in September. Now we hear that that's why Tim Costley had gone into action. That's what I heard.
Yes.
And I understand now that it might be December, but given what the Capital Coast letter says, this will be foolhardy for them, and I'm giving them a clear warning that the advice from the Capital Coast Intensive Care Unit would mean that by doing something like that, they would inevitably put at risk lives.
So the battle begins, I suspect. Don't you wish the council at the time bought it for, I think it was $1.6 million was the asking price back when Murray Cole picked it up?
Yes, there was a price that was settled with Murray Cole. But if a statutory public body had wanted to buy it, because the first option was for them, we could have bought it for much less. So there were no visionaries around the council table except for two. I think Councillor Harold Thomas and Councillor Brown. And they were the only two. The rest were. I'm at loss for words how to describe the lack of foresight.
Because even if we went ahead with the commercial subdivision that happened, that would actually provide a nice revenue stream for council, wouldn't it? And I think that one of the great problems the KCDC has is its reliance on rates. There's just no other money coming in. Well, very little other money coming in.
That's right.
And that's a problem, isn't it?
Yes, if you look at Wellington, they are wealthy landlords.
So it would have been rather nice.
Yeah, it would have been very nice. We had more than about 140 hectares of land. Yes. We could have had a functioning, operating, safe airport supported by a thriving business community around it. We could have had it. That's not to say that the vision can be completely lost. We have an opportunity now to reset that. But we've got a battle in our hands.
We've got a battle on our hands, and it looks as if the KCDC may be one of the combatants. So thank you very much for clarifying that this morning. We appreciate your time here on Beach FM. You're always welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
106.3 Beach FM.